To my live viewers and to my replay viewers, we want to welcome you to What's the 411 News. Let's go. Welcome Black to What's the 411 News, where we bring you news observation, interpretation, and news commentary from an FBA and BGR perspective. Let's get it. That's right, everybody. This is What's the 411 News. And hello, how's everybody doing out there? And yes, indeed, you guys see it on the screen right now. The members of the Congressional Black Caucus seems like they decided to speak up for the foundational Black Americans. Very interesting, very interesting. And as you guys know, when it comes to the Congressional Black Caucus, it seems like they always appear to be for everything else and for everyone else except the foundational Black Americans, all right? So it always looks a little bit suspect when they decide to speak up for foundational Black Americans. And if I'm not mistaken, my understanding is that there are quite a bit, if not all of them, there are quite a bit of people who are actually Black immigrants and not from the actual soil of America. So let's check it out and see what they're talking about, man, and get into it. All right, let's get into it. So Congressional Black Caucus confronts ongoing assault on Black rights. Now, first of all, who are they confronting and what Black rights? Are they talking about Black immigrants, Black Americans? I believe they're talking about Black Americans, but you know how things go. So we're going to go ahead and get into it and see what they're actually talking about, all right? So members of the Congressional Black Caucus firmly stated that Black Americans are being attacked in various ways nationwide. All right, with Republicans leading these efforts. We refuse to be victims and we will not be silenced, declared CBC Chairman and Representative Stephen Horsford, Democrat of Nevada, during a State of Black America press event held at the Capitol. All right. So our fundamental rights are under siege and our history is being denied, but we will not passively witness these actions. Too many people court on us to fight for them. Or excuse me, too many people count on us to fight for them. All right. Recent events in several GOP-led state legislators have intensified concerns within the CBC. Now, it's quite interesting that they're getting concerned, right? They're getting concerned. Are they really concerned, or are they just still doing posturing to make Black Americans think and feel like the CBC has got our backs and they're just taking the recent goings on with Florida and using that as a talking point to make it look like they're down for us? These are just questions to think about, all right? So let's continue. Recent events in several GOP-led state legislators have intensified concerns within the CBC. Despite a Supreme Court order, Alabama and Louisiana legislators refused to create an additional district with a majority of Black residents. The Florida State Board of Education has approved new education guidelines that downplay the harsh history of slavery. Instead, they emphasize the perceived benefits gained from the skills of enslaved people. Representative Maxwell Frost from Florida the youngest member of the House, expressed frustration with his state's guidelines. He said these guidelines aim to erase and indoctrinate this generation with white supremacy. However, Frost warned that Florida officials should not underestimate Black America's determination to organize and resist. I'll read that one again. It says, however, Frost warned that Florida officials should not underestimate Black America's determination to organize and resist. Members of the CBC said that statements made by their GOP counterparts at the Capitol have deeply disturbed them, adding to the mounting discontent. Representative Eli Crane from Arizona made an offensive comment during a House floor debate by referring to Black people as, quote, colored people. So before we continue, when did the CBC got so concerned about the word colored people? When it didn't seem like they were so concerned about Black Americans. Because if I'm not mistaken, didn't they go to like some Caribbean conference or something like that so they can cape for the Caribbeans to get reparations or to find some type of financial means for Caribbeans? But now they're concerned about Black Americans and being called colored people. Again, my question is, are they really speaking up for us, or they're just taking recent events and being, because the way things happened recently, oh, let's get together and pretend like we're going to stick up for these Black Americans, right? So let's continue. All right. Meanwhile, Senator Tommy Tuberville from Alabama defended a controversial statement by denying the racism and white nationalists. Horsford acknowledged that expectations from Republican leaders are minimal at this point. But Representative Troy Carter, who's Democrat in, I think, Louisiana, that is, demanded that the party's leaders take a stand against bigotry. Not racism, not white supremacy, but bigotry. All right. The silence from Republicans and others in the face of such egregious statements is deafening, Carter said. We will not condone the erasing of history. We must stand together to put an end to this. The CBC has issued a list of demands calling on the Department of Justice and the Department of Education to launch investigations into education policies. The caucus recently met with the Education Secretary, Miguel Cardona, to discuss policies about Black history. They also sent formal letters to Cardona and Attorney General Merrick Garland. Y'all jot these names down, rewind the video and write these names down and start researching these folks. All right. So the caucus recently met with Education Secretary Miguel Cardona to discuss policies about Black history. They also sent formal letters to Cardona and Attorney General Merrick Garland urging for a strong legal strategy. Black people did not benefit from slavery. We built this country, emphasized Horsford. Our toil, sweat, and tears went into constructing the very foundation of this nation. Elevating Black America is an elevation for all. We will not tolerate this assault on our rights. Now, I want to address something in that last part, because I recently did a podcast on my other channel in regards to Robert F. Kennedy and how, when it comes to the talk of reparations, everybody seems to use the same script. And that last line there was kind of bothering when it says elevating Black America. Elevating Black America is an elevation for all. You know, this is coming from members of the CBC. And as far as I'm concerned, whatever one says, it represents all of them. And so elevating Black America is an elevation for all should not even be a concern, or you should even be thinking about it elevating everybody else, because it's been appearing like everybody else has been elevated already. All right. So that's real concerning. So you guys let me know what you think about this particular story here, news report regarding the Congressional Black Caucus confronting ongoing assault on Black people or Black rights. Again, my question is, who are you actually confronting? It kind of addresses that here in the article a little bit. But again, is this just another ploy for them just to find something so they can seem like they're standing up for us? You know, anything that seems to be bothersome in the news, do they take that and use it as more symbolism, if you will? All right. You guys let me know, man. And never forget, we are available on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, now called X, and Twitch, as well as Spotify. All right. Support New Black Media by subscribing to this channel. I appreciate y'all. Like I always say, no matter where you are around the world, you can always bet on the New Black Media. I'm out of here. Peace. Welcome Black to What's the 411 News, where we bring you news observation, interpretation, and news commentary from an FBA and BGR perspective. Let's get it.